Fight for truth, I fight for justice, I will do anything to fuck. I missed it. Well, either way. Hello, Legendary Community. Hello, Legendary Community. I'm Nick John of the Unlegend. Welcome back to more Danganronpa. Took up Havoc, and in the last episode, we investigated the mysterious death. We investigated the behind the murder of Sayaka Maizono, and also Jinko died because she broke a rule. But before we get to the door, I want to review the evidence we have. We have 80 pieces of evidence, just as a sort of a quick review, so that way you guys can sort of play along. So it'll give you an idea and see if anything can connect in your head. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death was estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to be fractured. There's a number of scratches and gouges on the bed and walls in Makoto's room. Makoto took this evidence of struggle. Replica sword. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of his sheath on the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing part of some of the gold coating, as was part of the blade. Replica sword sheath. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sheath was found some distance from the sword itself, and it shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. Switching rooms. On the night of the murder, Makoto and Sayaka traded rooms with room keys. When the victim was discovered, Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Oh, never mind. Sayaka had originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room, and she became frightened. Took it. This has been placed in Makoto's room before he had arrived. It remained unopened, and there was no evidence of it ever being used. All the other male students claimed that they haven't used theirs either, but still. Makoto's room cleanliness. Not a single hair was found on the floor at the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Sayaka's wrist. Sayaka's right wrist had been fractured, and her wrist was glittery at the injury's location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean except for the index finger of her left hand, which had some blood on it. Dying message. A series of numbers had been written in blood on Makoto's bathroom wall. 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote these numbers while she leaned up against the wall as she lay dying. Bathroom door frame. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open due to it not quite fitting in the door frame properly. The only two people who knew the trick to opening it were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Bathroom doorknob. Makoto. Broken fix. 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 Okay. Makoto's bathroom doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had all been partially or completely removed. Drum nameplates. The nameplates on the doors of Sayaka and Makoto's rooms were apparently switched at some point. Kitchen knife set. The kitchen in the dining hall has a set of kitchen knives. Apparently one of the knives has gone missing. Aoi's account. Hina's account. The night from the kitchen went missing while Hina was in the dining hall. Hina swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. Trash room. There was apparently a trash room within the school. It blocked off all but a study gate. It's blocked off by a study gate that can only be opened with the trash room key. Incinerator. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Fumi was on cleaning duty, and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator was off. However, when Makoto checked it after the incident, the incinerator was in fact on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator is roughly 30 feet. Burnt shirt piece. The piece of cloth, a piece of burnt clothing was found next to the incinerator in the trash room, and it was apparently part of a shirt cuff, and it has a noticeable blood stain on it. Shattered crystal balls. Shards of glass were found actually incinerated in the trash room. It turns out that the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of a person. Apparently, Hiro left the ball in the laundry room on accident, so anyone could have come along and taken it. And now all that's out of the way, and I probably bored you guys to death away from the video already, but I probably always skipped ahead. I'm not looking at the presents. We're gonna go ahead and get right into one of my favorite, part of the game, which is really one of the best parts of the game. You like Makoto! We've all been waiting for you! I bet you were afraid you'd be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. There we can all read the details of Makoto's crime. So they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Saka both know that all too well. But then who is the killer? The clue should be painfully obvious to those of you who pay attention to the clues. The image of the clue. When went Saka? Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting. Oh dear, that sounds so ominous. Okay, who can I talk to? Let's check in with Hina. See how she's doing.
What the heck?
I can't ever wonder whoever killed Saka is feeling right now.
What do you go?
Impossible.
Damn, we gotta go through all the, we really gotta go through with the class trial thing, huh?
You know?
If you wanna confess, I guess now's the time to do it. I'm telling you, I didn't do it! Are you back yet? Well then, the time has finally come. Are you ready? I want to do the Byakuya voice more. It doesn't really like speak for long periods of time. It gives like quick explanations of things. What are you talking? You got something to yell about?
Got it!
Relax, I haven't decided 100% to be the killer just yet. Maybe, but you're obviously leaning that way. I think it's Kyoko to talk to then. Let's get stuck. Oh, I just have to go. Hold on, can I get like coins for man's camera? Can waste time on this right now. Can't think about the monitor right now, because you know what's about to happen. Okay, I guess we can just go then. I do Leon's voice.
You know what I mean.
Well, I did my job. I'm counting the rest of you from. Well, I did my job. I'm counting the rest of you from here on out. Okay. I think that's what I do. Here we go. I guess I know tricks to get this.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before. It's up to you, but it's up to you to accomplish the mystery around this case yourself. If you don't, you never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Saka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. And Saka's I swear I'll find who the real killer is! As I raise my voice and try to give myself courage, I turn trembling with a desperate toward the elevator. As I step forward, I can feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The door was closed, the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds toward the school basement. Yeah, and according to this picture, there apparently wouldn't have been any room for Saga or Junko, apparently. Well, there's clearly room for it, but apparently, by the way everyone's standing, there wouldn't have been. Look at Mono leaning against the wall. Look at Mono's like the only one against the wall. And like, that Taka's like facing, he's like, I'm ready for this debate! Ugh! So, I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes. Other than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? The blues to us shed anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. Ding! You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right? Not even close, it's total shit.
Well now.
Okay, everyone find your assigned seats and sit down.
Yahoo!
Hurry up now, hurry up! We did what he said and found our seats. Well, okay, I need to point this out. Where actually, wait a minute, look at Sakura, she's just so huge. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Joseph made it be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to go heavy as we sat there. And so the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly widow, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial! Do you want to see the data? That one prep. And there we go. Though I do have this. Let's end the video there, because I usually... Okay. Opening handbook. The map is new, so I can leave the truth bullets, whatever that would do. Okay. Set. Crap. I wasn't looking at the reading. I wasn't reading the text at the bottom, but I guess I don't really have to pay attention to it. Okay, this is where we use our skill. Oh, we only have 9 skill points? Oh damn, I don't have room for all of these things. Okay, let's see. Lost in thought. This is here. It increases the time left for each phase, effective during the class trial. Oh, okay, that's good. More time. That's always good. Melodious. There's Melodious. No, Meliodas' voice. There we go. I keep forgetting his name. Meliodas' voice. Increased damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Costs 3 SP. Okay, please tell me yours cost 4. Damn it! Wait, allows you to deliver 2 bullets once had to bullet. That's what. Oh, damn it! Oh, this skill is useless for the first try. I shouldn't have talked to him. Should have talked to somebody else this first time around. No. Damn it, oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 skills! Okay, okay. I guess that's okay. Situations. Trial! All eyes!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Oh, but yes, this is really interesting. All the class trial, all the class trials are fully voiced, which is awesome.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Now look, as you can see. Actually, no. Wait. I'll describe it when they bring it up.
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Oh dear.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary.
Very suspicious. Wait,
Now,
they could have done a better thing.
let the class trial begin.
No, really, they only have that empty seat there, so they really only had that empty seat there. So there's no human standing in the way of Monokuma. But I was gonna say, as you can see, Sayaka and Juko's pictures have X's on their faces. That's right there that might be blood, but really it's red, and that's not how it is in the PS Vita versions of the game or / the anime. Also, it's pink. So I'm kind of really bothered by that, really, but it doesn't feel the same way. But I'm just being picky. It's about to begin a debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop bit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely! As things progress during each class trial, you were engaged in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions bear within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the WASD keys to aim, then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Know that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Make your argument. End of the struggle.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
You got that wrong!
No, that's wrong!
No, that's right! Yeah, you get to use the codes voice acting.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
I was gonna say for a second there, I'll listen to the whole thing one time over and then repeat it to the weak point, but that was the end of the statement, and just I feel like we going through the whole entire thing to get the end of the statement there again. Would just be kind of pointless. It was just, that's the end there. There's nothing else after that. But also at the end of each little non-stop debate, Makoto gives you like a hint about what to do.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
Nope.
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide.
So that's such a strange accent.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
This pretty much is a real trial, but anyway. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Make your argument. Instead of doing it on the hardest difficulty, like mean logic and mean whatever, there'll be like more truth bullets and stuff like that.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
Hold on, I feel like what I did. Hold it! I feel like what I just heard is different from what I already know.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had.
No! No objection! Oh god damn it! I love Phoenix fight so much.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
Kitchen knife.
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Look, this is the whole game. Just I'll point it out.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
Yeah, let's look at Leon's shit. A lot of people think that's blood, but like there's a skull there. I don't think people could use blood as to make a skull design on a shirt. It's probably just red paint made to look like that.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
Oh, it will.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Or she said just no. She said, no, Makoto's the killer. Fuck you, bitch. She's fighting. It's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well not to kill it. There's a bit more to learn about Nuts of the Bay. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely! You can concentrate by holding down the spacebar. Okay, spacebar for that. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate, but the focus gauge will recover over time, so just let your brain take a rest, no need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. That's swirly hair with his curly hair at the top.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes, then it's been decided.
Yes.
We've reached the end.
I didn't take a chicken knife, but no matter how many times I repeat myself, you won't believe me. If only they were proof.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
They're loving music in this game so much.
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
No, you've got that wrong!
No, that's wrong!
That's wrong. Counter! Break!
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, so all the knives were still there. When I finished my tea, I went back to the kitchen and washed my glass, and one of the knives was gone.
So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall?
Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl?
Idiot swimmer girl! What are you talking about, bitch? I'll get over here! I'll smack you with my freaking boobs all the day! Get over here! Get right here!
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become
I'd
blackened?
like to ask the bear.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife.
Mandark, almost.
So I'm not the killer.
You go, Bryce.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
You step away from my mango hand there.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
Not
But
good with
then,
names, are you?
couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep
Best
anywhere
friend
but
sleep
the
over.
dorms,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room.
You and Sakura are basically best friends in this game. I like it. They're good best friends. I don't ship them. I ship you with someone else, but they're good friends.
So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
God, good old Taka. That really says a lot about their character, you know? I mean, Taka just sort of assumed, but he wasn't just gonna be like, he was just. But the thing is, though, Sakura's kind of like, I guess Sakura's so understanding. She's like, but I'm a go. It wasn't like, I'm a go, you idiot. Or like, it's like gonna beat the crap out of calling me that. Sakura's like, I'm so sorry. But like, see, that shows how nice they both are, you know?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Well, I hope it wasn't Jinko occurred, because how are we gonna punish her? So the person who took the knife was Hina and Monokuma, clearly. Jeez.
I got it!
Got it! Yeah.
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
Well, I feel bad for Taka too. Look, both the people standing next to him are dead. Like, look, Sayaka and Junko are both dead. Now, Taka's isolated. He has no one to stand next to him. He's just by himself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn, I don't do something. They gotta blame me for the murder. To understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there.
I get it. I know what she's a minute.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yep. She's talking to me, isn't she? She's talking to us and the viewers. Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely, I love the Hangman's Gambit in this game. The next one's kind of more complicated, but also it's pretty cool. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flag letters in the right order. You're supposed to aim and press the left mouse button to shoot the desired letters. If you do the long letters, you suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0 or you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun. Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. We can just figure out what that something is. Hangman's Gambit.
Now I understand!
Now I understand! Complete!
That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
I'm a badass.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes, and if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true!
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Yep.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Nope.
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
Now, see, that's a good point, Taka. That's a good point. I like how Taka brings that up. And I also kind of feel like someone should also bring up, yeah, maybe Makoto cleaned up all the hair just so we could bring up that own point, sort of create the existence, the possibility of a third person. You know, imagine that. It'd be like Makoto cleaned up all the hair himself, so that way Makoto could be like, why would I clean up all the hair in my room and try to blame somebody else?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Yep.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Where Sayaka's body was in the bathroom.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yep.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Stabby, stabby.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Yep. Killer started getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves that is... there we go. Broken doorknob.
I got it!
Got it!
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Yep.
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
See how the doorknob was unscrewed? What, they take a picture of it or something? Does the e-handbook magically have pictures of... Does the e-handbook have pictures? Wait, does the e-handbook save these pictures of the evidence we keep?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
What does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
A little cocky smirk. I guess it was a burning act, but I didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? This is well but not the bitch. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely! From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth along the long one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. But this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you failed. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck and have fun. Bathroom girlfriend.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Let's say, see how the cursor is like moving
Sayaka
around
was
like
first
that?
attacked in the main room.
I'm not moving
She
the mouse
then
at all.
fled
It's
into the
moving around
bathroom.
like that on its own. It's kind of weird.
Then the killer ran after her,
I'm not gonna move the mouse until the end of
and they
this
got into the
thing.
bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
But to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it! We already know the answer.
There you go. So that's why my bathroom door wouldn't open, but the real reason for that is...
The incident took...
Okay, hold on. Fast forward argument control, okay.
Sayaka was first, she then fled into the...
Then the killer ran, and they got into the back. At that point, the killer had...
Because Sayaka had locked it.
I love when, when I fast forward because the voices get all high pitched.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all,
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... that's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Important detail, something the killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked. Which means the important detail the killer didn't know was... crime took place in my room.
I got it!
Because the boys'
Killer
rooms
must
don't...
not have
boys'
realized
bathrooms
that
don't
it was
lock.
my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
Inconceivable! I don't think that word means what you think it means.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Say what?
Well, to be more specific,
To be more specific.
what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
Yep.
So they had no idea how
To the other
unnecessary their
side,
actions
the other
were.
Side, the other side.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
There we go. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
Mondo's angry!
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
Quit without saving. I'm gonna say, if Toko believes I'm innocent, then that's good, because Toko is like a really stubborn person.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
For serious?
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Good point, Hina. Good point.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
He is really fat. Just look at him. He's like wider than the freaking booth. There's no way Sayaka would let him kill in his room. I already have the answer. It's kind of a vague way of, let's see here. Now the murder, Sayaka, which one? Victim was discovered in Makoto's room, so right there. Sayaka got to switch rooms because she said she was fighting.
I got it!
Got it.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
What the heck was that? Same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who, you don't open your door for anyone. If I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of you switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Something I want to talk to you about, just as two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the room. To make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means, only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
Well, it's signed Sayaka, so...
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Yep, I will. Then that note, Sayaka wrote it.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
God damn it.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even
me.
got this note?
It would drive me crazy, but you're still a good guy.
And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Celeste is coming on the rebound.
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Non-stop debate, here we go. Big argument. Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka?
Okay, what? Sayaka? That's just a weird way of saying Sayaka? I was gonna say, okay, real quick. Okay, fast forward is control. Wait, okay.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
Makoto?
So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
The reason the killer went to my room and not Sayaka's, despite what the note said, must be because... Yeah, okay.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, it specifically says... I see. Then they would have gone to...
Exactly. The room that...
No!
No,
that's wrong! So I got you going!
The nameplates on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
You've got that wrong, because it's what Makoto says in the Japanese version. This is the Japanese, of course, in the Japanese version, the Japanese voice, he says, it's like, so I get you, so why'd you go, yo? It must know something like that.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Nope.
Right? Okay, then who did it?
I got it!
Sayaka.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
So I want to tell you about just a student in 5 minutes, come see me in my room, check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
Yep.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
Okay.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Oh! Yep. Hello, exactly. Broke it with the fixed swords because of her wrist itself.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
Yep.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room, and what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's people who learn about non-stop debates. You want to hear more? Absolutely. Getting used to these non-stop debates? You're going to use these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like with the weeks one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to find her. Press and release the Q key to cycle through each bullet. Or you can use the mouse wheel. By the way, if logic difficulty set the kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For upwards this time, the logic difficulty reset the mean, but it's already mean for me, so no difference. Well then, good luck and have fun. After the sword sees kitchen knife set.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
So we used first, and then I came afterward. Stay ready to the order of events that leads to some unexplainable details.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit, and that's when the first blow was a sword-based sneak attack.
Not so fast, hero!
No, that's wrong!
Not so fast! Wait, yeah. So she
Actually,
had,
no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched.
Yeah, there's all the scratch on it.
See?
So
There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
I don't see the gash really on the sword sheath. Do you guys see the gash? I'm not quite sure about that. I don't really see it. It's probably there, I'm just not even tell. I can't even tell. Yeah.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse.
Yes.
In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
I was gonna make the whole trial one big one.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
Yep.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Yep. Some that shows this she never used the sword was her palms because
I got it!
the gold would rub off
You're
onto
talking
her
about
palms.
her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle.
So that was the killer. The killer had the sword.
It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands.
I'm sorry if I'm being quiet. I'm being a bit quiet so you guys can sort of understand the trial going on and stuff.
There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Yes, unless...
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No, that's not it at all.
There's no connection whatsoever. There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because the water was off.
I got it!
Water turns off at nighttime.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m.
Which is during nighttime.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh my.
Has it been 3 days?
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
Oh, because he is a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka. The one who damaged the sheet would have been the one without the sword. Sayaka.
I got it!